the whole thing was a big lie anyway. But about me doing the T-shirts and all that, I mean, so Johnny fired me, and because he wanted to get rid of my brother.
What's going on, wrestling fans? It is I, Steve Paul, and welcome to 10 Count right here on Wrestling News Co. On today's edition, I am talking to the GOAT of professional wrestling. He is the greatest referee of all time. It's Earl Hebner. How are you doing?
Good, man. How's it going?
I'm talking to you, so everything's peachy keen, jelly bean. It's a great day because here we are, talking to Earl Hebner, and you've done so much in the wrestling business. Now, before we continue, as the quote goes, how much did the plastic surgery cost to become an evil referee in the WWE with the $1 Billion Man? We'll get to that story in a second, but first I want to talk about where is the strangest place you've ever had to work as a referee?
Probably Montreal.
Oh no, we're starting off with Montreal.
No, I'm just giving you the worst place up work.
That must have been a weekend. That must have been an interesting weekend. Though we could talk about that first, but I do want to talk about the greatest storyline in professional wrestling history, the evil referee, you and your brother, twins, but in the WWE, no one knew this. And so you coming into the WWE as the evil referee to screw over Hulk Hogan, allowing $1 Million Man to pick up the championship belt, helping Andre. How does this come to be? How do you end up in the WWE? Because a couple days before this, I believe you're in the first, you're in a War Games match on the outside as an official.
Well, it all happened just because of being a twin.
Really?
Yeah.
Did anyone know that you and your brother were twins from the beginning? Because this storyline can only happen once. You can't duplicate this ever again. Is everyone very aware of this?
Well, some were and some won't. You know, some people knew we were twins and some didn't. And evidently, up there, I guess they should have known, but they didn't until my brother brought it up.
Wow. And you screw over Hulk Hogan on television, but yet also on TV, he gorilla press slams you and whips you into the aisle. I'm guessing Andre and $1 Million Man and Virgil were supposed to catch you, but you fly over their heads. Now, describe that. How does that feel? Because you're obviously like, oh, good, they're going to catch me. And they don't catch you. You flamed on cement hard.
Well, honestly, it felt like hell right here. They crushed my rotor cup, and when I hit the concrete floor, but originally he was supposed to just shoot me to him. But when he started running, I go, this ain't the plan. And brother, I was gone.
Oh my God, you flew like a home run ball to the outfield because, dude, Hulk Hogan is a big dude and he's strong and he whipped you across the body. Did anyone try to think about, maybe I should put my hands up. Maybe I should try to catch him? Anyone apologize after this?
I tell you the truth, I don't really remember.
Well, yeah, because you hit the damn concrete so hard, I can imagine. Oh, my God, dude.
But you figured if the ring is 4 feet off the ground, okay, and Hogan was probably roughly, just say 6 feet, arms up another maybe 3 feet. So together, 10, 12, maybe let's say roughly 12 feet in the air. And then when you get launched, you can add a couple more feet to that. I mean, you figure Andre, I went over Andre, right?
No kidding, right?
So that's 7 feet right there.
Oh, my God, dude. Well, I'm glad you're alive here talking to us today, surviving that fall. But seriously, though, if anyone ever makes a top 10 list, top 20 list, greatest storylines of all time, a evil twin referee has got to be up there because, again, you only can pull that trick off once. You know, maybe years later, the Bella Twins could have done it, or other people with masks, the Conquistadors, but you can't pull off a face that you and your brother actually look alike too, and you have the same body type, everything. So, incredible. That's one of the most incredible things ever.
This was a deal once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime, dude. And again, we're still talking about today. And So do you have any, everyone has one, but do you have a Hulk Hogan story that no one else is aware of?
Well, when we were doing double shots up there on weekends, I flew with Hogan on his Learjet from one town to the other to make the day show and the night show. I don't guess a lot of people knew about that.
Oh man, so you're riding high.
It kept me as, I guess, maybe as special ref.
Yeah. Well, he must have trusted
We
you.
should have all the shit he put me through.
He must have, because again, you're traveling around the world, you're going to events across the country, across the world. Now, what were your first impressions while you started working for the WWE? Because I've talked to many people who started around, say, like the 80s, the 90s, and everyone has a different story. What were your first impressions?
Well, I was working for the NWA before I went to WWF. Okay, and then the Twin Deal got me in there, and cause my twin brother was already working here, you know, and that's how I guess just being a twin and what they needed to do, it just fit right into their program.
That, again, incredible stuff. And obviously, and right now, everyone is getting gift cards for Christmas, and you have a book out right now. Now, why was the time now to put out your book? Because you've obviously had so many stories and such a historic career. Why now is the kind of the time to put out this book?
Well, I've been wanting to do it for a while, but I had different writers doing this, that, the other, and it didn't agree to me what they wanted to do and what I wanted. So I finally got a guy to write my book up. I text you the my wife texts you the name of everything about the who's publishing the book.
Yep, got it right here. Fruiter now, Earl Hebner, the official story at WOHW.com. Right. And so, the writer there, he's produced many books with Bruce the Barber Beefcake, Dangerous Dino Davis, many other classic, amazing performers. ODB, Kamala. So there's yep. The list is endless. It's a Hall of Fame caliber list right there, and adding you to the group obviously is a huge moment. But so you talked about the other writers. What did those other writers want to do with your story that you didn't agree with?
Well, they just wanted more stuff in my life as a kid growing up than it did me in the business. And then again, they wasn't negotiable. They wanted too much of this and that and the other, and I just said no, the hell with it. So finally, I ran in. I was at in Salem at the Rafflecade.
Yep.
And Kenny was there, and ODB introduced me to him, and I go, okay. Then he started talking about writing the book for me, and I said, well, I'll give it a try, and we'll see. And he's great, man. I'm telling you, he's an awesome guy. He's laid back. He's just so good, and I can see why he's been writing so many books.
Yeah, I've talked to recently about other wrestling books, and obviously you came onto my radar as well, because obviously you are one of the greatest of all time. So stumbling upon you and then getting the opportunity to sit here, talk to you, and then seeing this book come out again, Christmas time, everyone's getting gift cards, money. Let's use it to good use and buy your book.
Well, I'm a lucky guy. It just worked out that way. But like, I guess this thing happened 25 or 27 years ago, one in between one or the other. And everybody's been asking me this, that, and the other, and I would just give bits and pieces and never give out everything. And finally, I go, you know what? I'm gonna let the cat out the bag. I'm gonna put it where everybody knows the official story from the official guy. And it can't be wrong. It can't be any bullshit. This is it. If it comes from me, it's got to be right. everybody's guessing about this, that, and the other, had their own opinions. And so finally now it's straight up.
You said it off the top about, strangest place you ever refereed, the Montreal. Screwjob is probably one of those moments that everyone keeps asking you questions and every little details. And I've read Bret Hart's book, Shawn Michaels' book. Vince McMahon doesn't have a book. So each person, even Bruce Pritchett, I put out information about that. But now, coming from the person who was in the middle of all that muck heading into that weekend, now all the details are inside this book.
Right.
Oh my. This has got to be a purchase for any wrestling fan, because seriously, even as a kid watching this event, you're seeing what's happening. And as years have gone on, people have their perspective on whose side they should be on. Bret, Shawn, Earl, Vince. It turns into like, well, you're asked to do something from your boss and you do it. And now I don't want all the details, because obviously we don't want to give the book away, because that's what the book is where the details are. Why would we do that here? But in reality, though, that weekend heading into that, what are you feeling? Are you feeling a sense of something is going to go wrong here? Like something is not going to end up the way you imagining?
Not really. I thought it, truthfully, I thought it was just going to be, I thought everything had been worked out and settled and was okay till time to go to the ring.
Yeah. Because I've heard stories of Jerry Briscoe telling, with Shawn Michaels in a hotel, like teaching him how to really, grapple someone in case shit goes down sideways. And yet you're in the middle of it all. And I think I've read this before, but have you spoken to Bret Hart since then? Since 1977?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, fact, I have another shirt, merch shirt. Says, "Damn right I did." And a lot of people want me to say it. Can you write on it, "I screwed Bret"? I go, no, I can't do that. A while back, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I would do it, but Bret and I made up, and before my brother passed, we were at a house show or indie show, and he was there, and he called us to the ring, and he put us over like big time. And so now Bret calls me now and then, and I'll call him, and we got a good relationship back. And I'm not going to screw it up by writing something on a dumbass shirt that's going to destroy our friendship.
Of course. Because, so your entire life, have you been worried, though, about bumping into Bret Hart over the years of, we're like, man, because I imagine this had to have been weighing on you for a long time. And, you asked to do something, your boss asked you to do something, so you did it. But at the same time, like, you did something to someone, and then that person probably is barely angry at you. Are you worried about bumping into him in the airport or indie shows, that things could go wrong really quickly?
Well, for a long time, it honestly, it bothered me, and it was bad for me, because I carried it with me for a lot of years. And once we met one time in the airport, and I wanted to talk to him, and he said, "I don't want to talk to you." I go, "Okay." He was talking to my brother, and I said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" He goes, "I don't want to talk." I said, "Okay." So I let it go, and that was it. And as time went on, it finally worked out where we got to see each other, communicate, and push water over the dam.
Good to hear, because again, that's again, you're attached to two huge moments of wrestling, double referees, Montreal. Like, these are the two top 10 biggest moments of professional wrestling, and you're attached to both of them. And one obviously is glory, and one obviously brought a lot of pain and suffering over the years. So does that give you a sense of comfort of knowing that you put so many years into the wrestling business that you're forever attached to two amazing, huge moments in wrestling that either you love or hate, but you're always going to be remembered? That's got to feel good.
Yes, it's good. It's good. I mean, I don't think any referee will get the opportunity to do what I've done.
No, I agree. You know, you even were in a match with Nick Patrick. How do you even prepare for a match? Because you're refereeing so many, but now you actually have to perform in one. What's the preparation work for that?
It was easy. I mean, Nick's a great guy, believe me. I mean, I love him to death. I knew his dad when his dad was a worker, you know, and Nick's just I think Nick has really been overlooked in the wrestling business. I think he deserves more credit than WWE or gave him, because he's a great referee. He's a great guy, and he's just as good as me, if not better. You know, so you know, and we still have we still have a lot of good referees. I mean, you got Mike Chioda, you got Old Rob. One of the best, better than all of us, is Tommy Young. Tommy Young was the NWA ref, and that's the one that gave me the opportunity to be who I am and be as good as I am, and taught me the ropes. So, you know, you look back at that, but, you know, but the young refs right now, they got a lot to learn. A lot to learn.
Now, do you feel like referees today aren't showcased like you and Tim White and Mike Chioda and other referees on that line? Because on commentary, Bobby Heenan or Gorilla Monsoon and other people who did commentary, they'd say your name over and over and over again. So as wrestling fans would consider you part of the show. You were a character. In today's world, it's not like that at all. Like, what happened? Why do you feel like referees, the spotlight was taking off of them?
Well, that was done by Vince McMahon. He didn't want the referees, he didn't want the announcers to announce the refs.
Were you ever told the reason why?
No.
Interesting. Because as a child, we recognize, you know, Howard Finkel, you know, Lord Alfred Hayes, Earl Hebner, you know, Shaw Mooney. You knew the names of everybody because they were part of the program. They were part of the show. And today they're referees. And,
right.
And it seems like all these referees wanted to be wrestlers, but they got turned down, and then it became, not all of them, but some of them in the WWE were brought in. They wanted to be wrestlers, and then they were like, well, we don't want you to be a wrestler. You want to be a referee? I'm like, oh, okay. They're just happy to be there versus. So what's the difference in today's world of new referees versus the past referees?
Well, from the old referees and today's referees and today's matches back then and there, it's a world of difference. It's not the same. Yeah. It's like old school and new school. You know, and the old school, you had to work and be smart because they never gave you everything. You know, a lot of times back then I'd go, what's the finish? They said, just count. I said, okay. But nowadays, but we did know the finish a lot of times. I mean, 99% of the time, we did the finish. Some of the old guys just didn't want to come through and tell you what it was. They said, just watch your match and count. It's okay. So that way, as time went on, a few of them got counted out because I didn't know what they were doing, and they were lazy or full count, kicking. So 1, 2, 3, see it.
That's how you get a new champion by accident. Hey, you know.
Yeah, it's it, you know. But I just think the referees they have today, I think they're they want to be part of the show, but it ain't working. You know, they want to do the E, all the bumps. They want to sell while the guy's body slamming. Oh my God! And I just don't go for that. You know,
and it's true.
All the things that I've ever done with the talent back in my day was because I was told to do it. I asked to do it. I didn't do it on my own, ever. And I just think it's kind of bad when a referee's selling the bumps of the match, and then I take it 80 bucks. Yeah, not the sell bump. They're there to look, break, count, 1, 2, 3, and it's over. I mean, how about look at some of the matches, even tonight, tomorrow, whenever, and you'll see it happening as they're going like, hell, they're going like they're part of the show. I mean, part of the match. That which they are, but they don't need to sell.
Yeah, you made a good point, because I have seen people like, oh,
yeah,
oh my God. And, but if you watch, let's see, if for a perfect example, Andre body slamming, Hogan body slamming Andre, you don't really see the reactions of the referees. It's more of like, let's watch body slam, let's enjoy that moment, versus me looking in the corner being like, what's that referee doing? And maybe I'm distracted by it, or maybe not, but obviously every fan has a different perspective. I used to love to watch the referees and see what they would do, because for a long time it felt like, why are we fighting? Like, if there's no reason for a rope break or tag team coming in and doing double team moves for like 20 seconds, well, I thought there was a 5 count. Like, you know, and so I love rules in wrestling, and especially the time when you were there, or at working in general, is the rules were enforced, and that's what I think. When, like, why are we fighting? Why is a man who's dead, why is he here? What's the point? And the rules make it have a point to it. But if you don't have rules, then what the hell are we doing here? We're just wrestling in our underwear.
And if they don't listen and you don't make some kind of enforce, what the hell are you there for?
Yeah.
No, get out, break it 5, and you have to work it. You know, it's not like you can get up there, you got the guy in the car, break 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't work like that. You give them guys time to get the heat and you say break, 1, 2. You know what I mean? When you get there, you go break 1, 2, 3. What the hell?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
That's what they have to learn. But you know, and like guys out on the floor, you get back in the ring. Like I'll go get back in the ring, and I'll go 1, 2, not get back in the ring. 1, 2, 3. The guys aren't going to get no heat outside. You didn't have time. You know, hell, you give them a slope, you give them a count normally, and it's up to him. He can hear me counting. When I get to 8 or 9, all he's got to do is roll in and roll back out. Right?
Break the count.
How hard is that? But I'm not gonna count 8, 9, and wait for him. 8, 8, 8, 9, 10, ding, ding, ding. You're out.
Yeah.
That's how I am. That's how it was.
Oh man, yeah, I love it. I love it so much. But you know what I love even more is the time I keep watching all the time with videos of you and Stone Cold Steve Austin drinking together and smashing beers, or you Triple H getting in your face and you getting back in Triple H's face and just shoving him down. Those are great moments. Those are when you and Triple H had so much chemistry when he was a heel and you were the main, chief referee. Is there a design based on this? Does he want to do these things to you, or is someone else saying, "Hey, we're gonna have this kind of be like an undertone storyline that Earl Hebner and Triple H don't like each other"?
Well, that's that they called it.
Triple H.
Triple H called it. Steve Austin, he called it. He'd go, "Come on," he would tell me, "We're gonna drink some beer tonight. We're gonna drink some beer tonight." I said, "Okay." I said, "Don't throw so damn fast. I'm getting drunk."
Yeah, whoever, I forget, it was the timekeeper, right? Who was humming those beers.
Yeah.
What an arm. Like, what an arm. And you guys are catching these things left and right, man. Those are some beautiful throws and catches. But so you're talking about drinking with Steve. How often at night are you? How much is getting in your mouth and how much is getting all over you?
Well, first I was trying to drink it all. I was getting all screwed up. So watch him, and I just don't pretend that I let the shit run all over me. I just could drink it fast. And then, so hell, when I first saw it, I was kind of had a buzz on leaving the ring. This ain't gonna work. I started dumping them down like he did.
Very smart, very smart. Yeah, you don't want to be too tipsy every single night. And then you just reek of beer. I'm imagining.
Right.
Oh man, dude. So when you've worked with so many wrestlers, from Hulk Hogan to Macho Man to all the greats, is there someone that sticks out to you that always said, "I want Earl to be the referee for my match"? Because obviously it happened a lot. You were like the main event, but was there a particular wrestler who, like, he loved working with you and you loved working with him?
Well, uh, be honest, Flair always wanted me to be his ref. When I was down at NWA, well, he wanted time, really. And then when I came in and we started splitting the towns, I would always be his ref. And when he got up to WWF, I usually would do his matches, you know. So, but a lot of them would ask me. And Chief Strongbow, one time we were in a agent meeting, and Chief said, see, Chief was close to Danny Davis. They were buddies. And Danny Davis was a good referee too, but the Chief was asked Vince one night, he said, why does Earl get all the main events? He said, because he's the best referee. He said, just like the Super Bowl, they use the best referees there. WrestleMania, we use our best referees here. And that was that answer. And that made me feel good, but nevertheless, you know what I mean? But it's so important with at a WrestleMania or any live TVs. It's a time cue, and if it runs over, you may have they may give you a 5-minute grace period, but after that, it's dark. It goes dark. So you got to really be on the ball. And believe me, it's a lot of stress when you do the main event anywhere live. Right. I mean, it's like when I was doing WrestleManias. When I first started, I'd have maybe 2 or 3 matches. And I just told Vince, if I'm going to do the main event, I don't want to do any other matches because I got to be on the ball. I can't do this match and remember all this, do the next match, remember all that, and then go into the main event. And I can't get all the spots together in my head. I wanted from bell to bell. So I know where the hell I'm at and what I'm doing.
And he was fine with this?
Yeah.
So what was your average day then? So let's for instance, let's start with, what was the biggest match you were involved with as a referee, you believe? And then on top of that, what would your day be like heading into this main event? Because obviously you're in the room as these two wrestlers are putting it all together.
I would just sit there and go over it with them. We go over it for a while, then we take a break, and come back, and go over it again. It's not that we sit there for 2 or 3 hours going over it because it would just be too much. And we go back and we go to the ring, we go through it and everything and all that, And
then what is the biggest match you believe? A couple maybe, but I imagine it's hard to pick one. But what is, you believe, the biggest match that you ever were involved with?
Well, The Rock and Austin was a big one.
WrestleMania?
Hogan and Ultimate Warrior in Toronto was a big one. And but I don't know. I've just had so many.
And I imagine you were the referee for so many main events for so many years. It's like the greatest hits. You've been involved with some people's greatest hits, and they're always going to remember you as a referee for their favorite matches. Also, Warrior versus Hogan, WrestleMania 6, and Austin versus Rock 3 different times. It was 15, 17, and 19 they wrestled at WrestleMania. So that's my God. But was there someone that when you saw that you had to referee for, you go, oh God, this person, oh geez. Like, is there someone on that list that you go, I would rather not?
Macho Man.
Macho Man, because he was such a perfectionist.
Yep. I mean, when it comes to WrestleMania, he give you a sack of papers that thick of the whole match, way before it was ever going to go on. I mean, two weeks before the WrestleMania. And then he come back and I'll go, damn, this is a joke here, you know. But that's how he was. He was a perfectionist. So
One of the greatest of all time as well. So, but still, I've heard stories of him planning things out. Like Diamond Dallas Page be like, please, can we just not do this tonight? He's like, nope, we're gonna do it. Here you go. Here's the stack of papers.
but Randy was the same way about like TVs and house shows, same thing. I mean, he wanted to write, period.
Non-televised matches. He also wanted it to be a certain way.
Right.
Man. But as a referee, you're trying to remember all that stuff.
And if you screwed up, he'd go, what the hell is going on here?
Oh, my God. You have so many stories and so many histories, and that's why people need to buy your book. Again, as I mentioned before, Christmas, folks. Everyone's getting gift cards, money. What a present to receive for the holidays is your book, and I think everyone needs to get it because, again, we've only talked about this much of what you've done. The book, I believe it's 443 pages, if I'm correct, and it's filled with stories like this that we're getting here today on 10 Count. It's amazing just to sit here and chit-chat with you. So the story I've always heard was you either got, laid off or fired or whatever happened at the end because there was merchandise being sold at a shop that you also owned, but that was your merchandise?
No, well, I went and parted with a guy, and with the merchandise was bought from the same people that WWF bought them from.
Okay.
But the whole deal was that when Johnny brought when WCW came in, if you look back, a lot of their agents started disappearing because Johnny wanted to use their agents.
Okay.
And my brother was his agent, and he was Vince's right-hand man. So the whole thing was a big lie anyway. But about me doing the T-shirts and all that, I mean, so Johnny fired me, and because he wanted to get rid of my brother.
Wow.
And that's how that happened.
Okay. Because for years we're like and again the story has grown over years and was like Earl Hebner selling bootleg, like this is obviously is not true. They were like, oh, Earl Hebner selling bootleg merchandise out of his car at wrestling events, and I'm like, why would he need to do that?
Right. Oh, why would I give up a $250,000 a year job for a $12 T-shirt?
Right. It never made sense to me.
The truth was never told. It was all a lie. But it was other places I went, and I just kept going.
Yeah, no, obviously, people, TNA brought you in, and obviously, everywhere you go, your people want to talk to you and chit chat with you, and now your book's out too, and clearly you have more stories to tell. So the world's waiting.
And then AEW.
Yeah,
I could have worked for them, but I just don't want to travel that much now.
But everyone always, I see you have your TNA shirt on. You were put in the TNA Hall of Fame. Do you think? I think so. Do you think you'll ever be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame?
I should, but I don't know.
Why do you say you don't know?
Yeah, there was a few problems when I left with me and Vince, and so I don't know.
Have you spoken to Vince since you left?
Yep.
Never.
The only people I really talked to was Tim White and Sergeant Slaughter, and I talked to Tony Schimmel and Mike Hill. They're the only ones,
Yeah. Well, as a story goes, usually in the wrestling business, we can have fit them on one hand.
They should have put Tim White in the Hall of Fame way, way before he passed away.
Great.
I think the Hall of Fame means nothing if you're not alive. You don't get any benefits out of it. It's just, what good does it do you? And would it do me if I was dead and they put me in the Hall of Fame?
Right.
Nothing. What does it mean? Nothing. I don't know it. Timmy didn't know it. So what the hell? And he's not the only one. Vader and
Macho Man.
Macho Man, all of them. I mean, what good does it do you now? But Timmy deserved it way, way long before they gave it to him, before he passed. He deserved it probably 10 years before that. The way he took care of Andre and kept Andre going and everything, and but and there's a lot of other referees that need to be in the Hall of Fame, but I don't know if they're going to put any referees in or not. No big deal to me either way.
Yeah, it's just strange when you have celebrities who, like, again, nothing against William Shatner as a Star Trek fan or character. He was on a couple Raws. Couple, like 2, 3 maybe.
Steve Rose. What's Steve Rose doing in there?
WrestleMania 14, he got a tombstone by Kane, and the next year he got chokeslammed wearing a chicken costume. That's it.
What? Donald Trump.
Oh God.
What the hell are we doing in there?
Let's not open that can of worms here.
You know what's taking the bump? I mean, all the people in the Hall of Fame that's not wrestlers, they don't belong in the Hall of Fame.
Great.
Would any of those people go in the Baseball Hall of Fame or the NFL Hall of Fame? Hell no, they wouldn't. So we can get all these jabronis to come in. It's a joke.
I agree. I don't, and you bring up, the past of you and Vince not having a relationship any longer, but so many people have left and have said either terrible things or done terrible things while they're in the company. All got brought back. All. Not a couple. All. From Bruno Sammartino to Hulk Hogan to Ultimate Warrior to the, Bret Hart, like everybody. But somehow Earl Hebner, yourself, hasn't been brought back for anything. And I have a feel, and I'll be honest, if you walked out on an episode of Raw or SmackDown right now, this is me, and I believe this would happen, a standing ovation would happen because of all the work that you put in over the years. You brought up Tim White as well. He took care of Andre. Andre made money for that company. And if Tim White wasn't there, the one helping Andre, you wouldn't have continued making all that Andre money. So it's like, in the end, is wrestling kind of like once we're done with you, we throw you away slightly?
Throw a lot of them away. A lot of them away. But if it wasn't for Tim White, Andre would have never been there. He would have left, because Andre was he either liked you or he didn't like you. And he was in love with Tim White. Tim White took care of him so much, and if Tim White had ever quit, Andre would have left. I don't think Andre would have stayed there. Wow. It's like when we were doing double shots. Andre told him right off the bat, I don't do double shots, boss. Or one show. And that's how it was.
Wow. Andre, well, boss, he was the boss. So if he said no, well, what are you going to do? No. He's a giant. What are you going to do?
Right.
A whole different story altogether. But, man, in wrestling, it's not ballet. Do you have a worst bump or injury you occurred while being a referee?
The one Hogan game.
Yeah, the one Hogan, but...
And then Triple H ruined this roller cup. He hit me with a sledgehammer and crushed the bones here. Back in, what was it? 97? 98. I was in Boston, Massachusetts, and I had a brain aneurysm during the day before WrestleMania. And that night, I was drinking beer with the Undertaker, and I had a big pain in my head. And I said, something ain't right. And anyway, I ended up I was having a brain aneurysm. They took me to the New England Medical Center, and those people saved my life. So I owe Boston everything. I never made WrestleMania that year, but when we went back down the road, I went there and I must have taken 50 people in the ICU ward to the show that helped me, to stay with me and took good care of me so I could make it. And that was awesome.
I do recall Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 14 in Boston Fleet Center and walking up to the camera saying, "This is for you, Earl."
Yep.
And at the time, the internet wasn't really that big, so no one knew the information of what you're sharing right now. So you sharing this right now, I didn't know exactly what happened. I just knew something happened to you, and I was like, well, where's Earl? He always does the main events of everything, it seems like. But I'm from Boston, and I'm happy that my people saved your life that day, because so that brain problem you had, the aneurysm, was that an injury related in the ring, or just this is a natural thing happening to you?
Just a natural thing. Well, I got hit in the back of the head with the Ted DiBiase hit me in the back of the head with a briefcase one time. He was late into the ring and he threw it in, and it hit me in the back of the head and knocked me out. And it messed with one of my eyes, doesn't dilate anymore. And I don't know if it was from that or what. To be honest with you, I have no clue.
You've survived so much. Hogan throwing you across the way over Andre, drinking with Undertaker, Boston saving your life. The tales are all there. The Earl Hebner, the official story, is out right now. You have to buy the book, folks, because again, here we are. We've talked about it. We got this much out of them. This much. You can get so much more out of this book. Again, let's pull up the website one more time, folks, because again, it's WOHW.com. That's where you can get the book. And again, Christmas time, folks. Come on, Santa Claus.
It wouldn't be Christmas without me.
It wouldn't be Christmas without Earl Hebner. Simple as that. Simple as that. And so I got to say, it has seriously been an honor and a privilege sitting here talking to you today about the past, the present, the future. And I've said it, and I'll say it again. If you walked out on TV right now, WWE TV, standing ovation, because we all love you, we respect you, we love everything you've given us, memories, core memories that will last a lifetime. So again, I want to say thank you. And I'm honored and I'm honestly privileged and sit here and chit-chat with you today for just a little bit, because little baby Steve, when I was watching wrestling, would never believe that adult Steve today will be talking to you. So I want to say again, thank you for everything you've given all of us.
Well, if little Steve wants to come back and bring me back, you got my number.
I do, folks. I'll prank call him on New Year's Eve. Just kidding. Thank you again for being here, though, Earl Hebner on 10 Count. I'm Steve Fall. He's Earl Hebner. He's the GOAT of professional wrestling referees. And again, Hall of Fame one day. It better happen. And if not, we will riot. Just like you did when you went on strike with the WWF referees in 1999. I'll do it for you, Earl. I'll do it for you, okay? So thanks again for being here. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.